Okay. We are now live. And let's see. This looks good. Okay, this is all set up. All good like. And let me just do this. Probably my phone. And we're gonna get ready for some late night fit reading, which is gonna be semi-dark horror by Realm of what we're gonna say, Realm of Shadow.
I brought you a letter!
Yes, thank you. Cone. For letting me know that I am now live streaming or edit my thing on the dashboard. But okay, let's just do this. Yeah, today yeah, a little bit tired since I was working all day and my company sometimes doesn't know what to give proper help with. But anywho, I am procrastinating, so let's do this. So today pick is from Realm Jumper and Caught on Camera. Summary is right there. Then let's go. Checking cameras. Checking cameras. Okay. Okie dokie. Never mind, that was nothing. Okay, Crimson. Alright. Boy. Note to self. Try to get ready on time. But this is what happened when it happened to me. Yeah, my brain is so out of it right now. Okie dokie. For some reason, no, whatever. Okay, Crimson, let's go through one more time. Oh, no. Let's. Man, I'm tired. Okay. Okay, Crimson, let's go through this one more time. Can I get a feed on the camera one? One more time. It's always one more time. With checkers. Sitting there in the dark office with an empty cannery. Sitting in the dark office of the empty cannery factory. Crimson stepped aside as he started scrolling through the red buttons above his keyboard on the. Oh, okay. Crimson stepped. Okay. Crimson stepped aside as he started scrolling through the red button above his keyboard on the concrete desk. Concrete. Everything, the whole factory seemed to be made of a dull gray mixer, making building feel more like a prison than a place of manufacturing. If it wasn't for the poor economy in East Los Pegasus, Crimson would have considered getting a real job, but as it was winter season, plus unexpected plus the unexpected mini crash of the stock market in Manhattan, every pony had to tighten their purse strings and be a little less generous with their bets. First, for a street performer, even one of Crimson's step caliber, that meant getting a real job. Sadly, the night watch shift at one of the canneries was all he could find. The hours sucked outright, 10 to 5, but at least he get paid 10 bits an hour. Crimson rolled his eyes at the tech geek who currently checking the camera with him. He wasn't actually in the room. Checkers, the factory. Okay, Checker, the factory, it, and its Checkers and the factory, it and the factories, Checkers, the factory, it and the machines. Maintenance stallion was on speakerphone doing something he called screen sharing to make sure the security camera were working properly. Crimson says hoped that he could catch a few hours of sleep once the phone set up. Tonight will be like the last night and the night before, has it been for the last month. Silent and quiet. However, it didn't stop the computer-savvy unicorn from checking everything one more time. Crimson sighed as he hit the big red button marked with a number above it. You know, triple-checking things every night isn't going to change the fact the system works. Why don't you just cut it at second twice a night, for me? Oh, shut up, Crim. Checker's voice buzzed clearly, filling the dark room with his nerdy voice. I know you got to sleep. Once I'm done checking the feed. Last few more minutes you can't do. You can at least last. Bleh, 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 bleh. You can at least last a few more minutes, can you? Can't you? Crimson glared at the phone at it. Yes, you glare at the phone, you son of a bitch! I just want to do my job, mostly sleeping, so I don't have to do my job properly. That's a poor security work. I should know. I was a security guard. Okay, that thing came out right. Oh well. Get some drink. Crimson glared at the phone, as if the plastic device could relay his annoyance across the electronic signal. You seem prissy tonight. What? Did the last date go wrong? Yeah, his voice, back sharper than usual. Yeah, yeah. His voice answered back, sharper than usual. You're surprised how fast your date goes bad when her stallion friend... Yeah. When her stallion friend at the last 3 months showed up and tries to start a fight with you. Yeah, that's a bad thing. Crimson grins and the ear folding flat against his skull, blending right with his red mane. Ouch. Yeah, ouch, the suckers agreed. If you don't mind, I would want to do this fast. I've got a bottle of AZD waiting me. A bottle of AZD waiting for me in the pantry. I plan not to remember any that about it by the morning, and to have too much of a headache tomorrow to care if I do remember anything. Okay. Crimson put a grimace put on a grim mate. I tried that before. I don't can't say that word properly. I tried that before. I don't suggest it. Well, that's one informed opinion. Okay, it looked like great. Give me a camera 2. Could just hit the number 2 button, seeing the room full green shaded pillar, a few canning machine. Oh how Crimson Step hated that stupid camera. Their night vision mode gives him the chills and made everything 10 times creepier than they already were. A dark cannery in the dead of night, full of machine and empty space was creepy enough as it is. Making everything that same sickly shade of green. If it wasn't for the fact he was getting paid 4 bits above the minimum wage, he wouldn't have stayed for the last month. 2 looks good to me. Give me 3. In the factory, there was only 8 cameras, and each one pointed in a different direction of the canning line. It just so happened that factory canned diced tomato. Canned diced tomatoes. Okay. It gave Crimson quite the shock when one of the workers didn't clean the blade of the machine and cleaned the blade of the machine on camera 3 one time. If it wasn't for a second, he would have called the police. Because of that, the 2 had been running a choke on camera 3 section of the factory. Here come the killing zone. Here come the killing zone. Crimson smiled. He could almost feel Tucker roll his eyes at the dumb nickname. As his hoof covered the number 3 button, the screen flipped to camera 6. What? Tucker stayed there laughing, his voice crackling and slight over the phone, causing Crimson to sit up straight and stare at the thing. sorry. That was me. Oh, that was great. Crimson gave the phone a dead-eye stare. Hardy, har. You're so funny. Couldn't help myself. You were expecting it. Won't you show me what you got for the camera 3? Okay, show me what you got for the camera 3. Without a pause, Crimson punched the red button. I probably would too. Punched the red button. With a sigh, he shook his head. The fuzzy green machine with a dark spruce over the blade and its metallic body. Looked like some pony forgot to clean it again. We've seen worse, Second agreed. What about camera 4? Before Crimson Step could hit the button, the screen jumped back to camera 6. That joke is getting old, Crimson pointed out, yawning a little. I thought I said camera 4, Crim. Second voice buzzed over, holding a slight static. Crimson looked down at the black phone, blinking. I thought you saying it like you did a minute ago. It wasn't me. Did you hit the wrong button? The button? Crimson put both hooves in his lap and stared at the screen. I didn't touch anything. For the brief moments, the silence reigned over the small dark room, somehow making the dark more pronounced. Crimson didn't realize how much he hated the tight spaces like this room. You sure? They're not jerking me around. I could ask you the same thing. Silence once again. Held in the room is scarf as Crimson and Sucker watched the screen for a long moment. And it had to be on Friday. Sucker said, his voice fuzzy with static than before. Fuzzy with static than before. Okay, whatever. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Crimson looked at the phone in disbelief. You're coming now? If it's a simple malfunction with the cameras, I'll be able to fix it easily. If I'm more serious, or if something been tampering with the equipment, I have to call it in. Crimson shook his head. Come on, you don't have to come all the way down. It's just a glitch or something. Nothing serious. I've been running these cameras for years. I know them better than anyone in my house. They don't glitch. I'm going to check them out. Yeah, but can't you, wait till morning? There was a long pause as a unicorn on the other side on the phone considered his option. I'd rather not. Checking admitted with a sigh. I'd rather not. Checker admitted with a sigh. At least it's more productive than drinking all night. Crimson sat back in his chair, not sure how to felt about the situation. But he certainly felt better about the idea someone else he knew was in the factory with him, even if it's just a screen or something. But even if it's just on screen, something just didn't feel right. I've only live a few blocks away anyway, Checker said, drawing Crimson out of his thought. I'll give you a call on my cell once I'm there. Crimson gulped. Okay. He didn't like the idea of being completely alone while something was off with the camera set. Something flitted across the screen, pulling his attention back on the screen as his heart skipped a beat. Nothing was there. There probably was nothing. The dark made everything seem more sinister than this really was. The air around Crimson seemed to have dropped a few degrees, as if sealed by some unseen malice towards him. Shaking his head, he knocked his head with his hope. He knocked his head with his hope. Need a drink? Okay, that's better. He knocked his head with a hoof. It was such his imagination. There was nothing there. And the air was fine. His co-worker will be there in 5 minutes just to see the rat chewing on a keyboard or something. But nothing more. It was to be an old cannery after all. Okay, I'll see you soon. Click. Silence. Silence hung in the air so thick and heavy that Crimson felt they could cut it with a knife. To be certain that something was actually wrong with the camera stick, he punched them to camera 4. The screen flipped over appropriate feed, but something was off. Crimson leaned forward, his brow a brow furrowed. Wait. Crimson leaned forward, his brow furrowed as he stared at the green screen on. He stared at the green on the screen. Ugh. Okay.
He stared at the green on the screen, and as the picture was tilted to one side, almost as if someone or something had bumped it.
Excuse me. Suddenly, so it was just off enough for the picture was tilted, almost as someone had bumped it ever so slightly. Then it was relayed on the screen was off just enough for anyone to barely detect. That's odd. Has it always been like that? Crimson's first instinct was to say no, but given how often he actually paid attention to the feed on his screen, he couldn't say for certain. Once again, the screen swapped to camera 6. At 6. Feeds on his own. Yep, something must be wrong with the wire or something. It might even have to do why camera 4 was off ever so slightly. Did some of the crew come in and bumped it? Did some crew came in and bumped it during the day? Maybe knocked a wire loose? He tried again. Hoof hovering over camera 7. The video scene without input over to video 3. Something long and hairless was crouched on the conveyor belt. Its stark white eyes staring through the camera into Crimson, as if it knew it was being watched. The thought of seeing such an unexpected thing forced Crimson to blink before his brain could fully register what he was seeing. By that time, his heart started. By that time his heart started to begin to miss a beat, for a second time Okay, let's be By the time his heart started to begin to miss a beat for the second time that night, Crimson realized that nothing was there. Sure, the machine was just the same state of uncleanliness as before. His baseless body was covered in dark spruce from tomato. There was nothing strange. There was no strange creature staring into his soul. Was he just losing it? Maybe when he got off of work, he needed a bottle of apple sack Daniel for himself. The dark anticipation of waiting for his phone to ring, making him jump at the dark and the anticipation of waiting for his phone to ring were making him jump at shadows, at things that's not there. Crimson ear perked up when something rattled. Were the pipes always that loud? He blinked as his ears twitched. Was scraping on the wall or something? From the outside of his door. Wait. Was that scraping on the walls coming from the outside of his door? Something like a low wheeze reached his ear. Could something be breathing, waiting just outside the security office? Office. Okay. Could something be breathing, waiting just outside the security office? Or did he just not ever pay attention to the ventilation in the building? Crimson couldn't answer. He always was dead asleep by this time, flicking his tail around himself. He waited for his co-worker to arrive. Bang! 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 Crimson jumped at it who's the fur on his nap standing on end, his stomach on the bottom out, causing him to whinny like a little filly.
Did I scare you?
His second voice muffled by a steel drafted door in. I will get you for that, Crimson growled. I will get you for that. Crimson growled, trying to calm himself. I thought you were going to call. The voice on the other side laughed. Well, I would have, but I wanted to make sure you were awake. I was here. What a dick! Okay.
Give it away, wait.
The other side laughed. Well, I would have, but I wanted to make sure you were awake. Anyways, I'm headed down to take a look at the camera. Give me a ring. I'll be more happy to have someone to talk to. Crimson scratched his head, slightly confused. Would it make more sense for me to come with you? No, I need you in there so I know if I fix the problem. Oh, why didn't you think of that? Why didn't I think of that? Because you ever think of sleep. Crimson, don't worry, you'll get your beauty sleep tonight. Crimson rolled his eyes. Have I ever told you how annoying you are? There was a pause.
Actually, no, you haven't.
Both ponies snorted in laughter as Secker trotted down the dark hallway and Crimson took his seat again, dialing the number for his co-worker. Oh, you decided to call? Secker answered, the voice holding electronic things. I was bored, and I can't take a nap until you fix that thing. Crimson sat back. Talking to someone made him feel more at ease. It didn't take long for Secker to get down to the factory floor. Okay, hit camera 1. I might as well make sure everything's working, else is working. Tapping the red button, Crimson dutifully told what if he say. Tapping the red button, Crimson dutifully told of what he says. They seem good. Oh, I can see you. Wave to the camera. The unicorn's short, spiky mane and The unicorn with a short, spiky mane and glasses looked up to the camera and waved before moving on, stopping every so often to look at any machine around the area, making his way off screen. I love machines, the unicorn confessed. There's something such amazing about them. Things of metal and wires, moving on its own, doing things that we can't. It's almost divine. Was that a pickup line you used to get last night's date? Was that your? There's no your there. Was that the pickup line you used last night's date? Crimson laughed, punching for a camera 2 input. Crimson watched a co-worker across the green screen. Hey, babe loves nerds, the pony on the screen replied. Crimson rolled his eye. I sure hope you're referring to the candy. The screen switched unexpectedly to camera 6. Hang on, it switched on me hang on. It switched on me again. Crimson tapped the button for camera 2. A blur sped across the green screen. Crimson blinked. It's his imagination again? First he's seeing weird creature, now he's seeing blurs. A pipe ground above Crimson causing him to jump. What was he doing? Jumping at shadow and natural noise of the old building? Putting his hoof to his eye, Crimson massaged his temple and with a sigh, feeling more upset than foolish. Everything good? Everything good now? Secker asked, sounding a little concerned. Crimson grunted, turning his attention back to the screen. Yeah, I can see you now. Keep going. That's what she said last night. That joke is so lame for like my four-eyed old that joke is so lame. My 4-year-old nephew would make up better ones. You have a nephew? Yeah, he's a cute kid too. Wants to be like his super cool uncle and become a dancer. Griffin was a snicker on screen. So cool. So cool, his business is frozen. That was really lame. Shut up. It was funny too, and you know it. Says the nerd who laughed at the ones and zeros. I see your kill zones, Sucker announced. Hitting camera 3, Crimson saw something he couldn't believe. On the conveyor belt was something long and thin, sitting in the saddle of a soiled machine, his stark eyes watching Sucker walk by a few feet away, as if the predator stalking his prey. Before he could get a chance to say anything, he blinked and it was gone. Crimson blinked again, rubbing his eyes with his hoof, still gaping at the screen. That was he saw before. That was what he saw before. No, Crimson. No. Crimson mumbled, trying to calm himself. I thought I saw it. Oh, there's a comma there. I thought I saw. I thought I saw. Camera held his tail with his forelegs. A nervous habit of youth. Something wrong, Something wrong? Sucker asked, stopping in his track. Not sure if he should tell what he saw or should keep it to himself. Crimson asked, I must be tired. I thought I saw something. Crimson looked into the camera. Crimson looked up into the camera. I think that was meant to say Secker. I looked up into the camera, saw something? What? No, okay, one more. It was a little late to say nothing, so Crimson answered truthfully. It looked like a strange creature. It was long and thin. That's a spelling error. Long and thin, okay. I am completely lost. You are long and thin with white eyes. Long and thin? Second repeated. What kind of description is that? I only saw it for a second. I blinked and it was gone. Crimson held his tail tighter. And I thought I saw it earlier before you got here. For a moment, neither Crimson nor Secker moved. Secker stared at the camera, making eye contact with Crimson. Finally, Secker broke the would-be eye contact, continued making his way camera 6. What did I tell you about drinking on the job? Of course. That's the reason why you saw something on the camera. You're drinking. Irony. Okay, anyway. What did I tell you about drinking on the job? Then Unicorn asked. Hey, I haven't drank all day. Sure. And let me know when you see the Tooth Fairy. Now I got a debt to settle with that one. The Crimson leaned back into his chair, folding his forearms and glared at the pony on the screen. Excuse me. Secretly, he was grateful that his co-worker got his mind off whatever he thought he saw. Secker crossed out camera 3 frames. Button for camera 4 comes was met with a strange sight. Checker? Yes? Camera floor. Camera 4 is on the floor. Everybody get to the dinosaur. Okay, anyway. For a long moment, nothing could have been heard breathing. For a long moment, nothing could be heard but breathing. The floor? Yes. Okay, we'll wait a moment, I'll find it. Crimson could hear something in the background of the phone. Was that the reason? He knew Secker wasn't the greatest at physical stuff, but he seemed to be in that condition such fun walking. Some scuffling could be heard. Finally, the picture on the screen started moving as someone picked up the stationary camera from off the ground. Turning around, Secker's face came into view. Secker's face came into view. His face a picture of concern as he turned the device this way and that way to look it over. Secker's face came into view. His face picture of concern as he turned the device this way and that to look it over. Over his shoulder, a pair of stark white eyes could be seen. Behind! Crimson was in the horror as Secker dropped the camera, leaving it on the floor. Leaving it on its side to see his leg. The screen were cut off almost as soon as they started. The large glob of dark splatter against the floor. The large globs of dark splatter against the floor, and now silence, seen as Checker phone disconnected. He watched the Crimson Minds. As he watched, Crimson Minds snapped into action as he started dialing the police. To police department, what's your emergency? Police department, what's your emergency? A mayor answered. My name is Crimson. I work in the tomato cannery in the factory district. My tomato cannery, the police mayor asked, sounding confused. Crimson watched his co-worker leg lifting off the ground. Yes, the big factory with 2 smoke stacks. Now what seemed to be the problem? Checkered leg vanished off screen. It ate him! Gasped and it ate him! Who ate him? Crimson's voice took as his throat constricted as he wasn't sure what he felt more, utter terror of what he was set to witness, or the shock that his co-worker says eaten by some kind of monster that wasn't there. It wasn't. Bang, bang, bang. The Crimson had snapped from his dust. We heard his heart race as he stared at the screen. Camera 6 was on the display. Terror filled his mind. The image a moment ago filled his mind. With a shaky hoof, he tapped the button for camera 4. Camera 4 was perfectly normal, not on the floor or showing any diabolical beast eating sucker. Bang, bang, bang. The screen switched back to camera 6. It's on the floor. Crimson breathed out easily. He says have to fallen asleep and waiting for Sucker. I'm coming, he called out, getting up from the office. They're taking it to the office. Sweet said lastly, you will not believe that dream I such had. Making the way to the ground, Crimson pulled it open. You were eaten by... Crimson's voice died in his... Crimson's voice died in his throat as a pair of stark white eyes greeted him. Okay, then that was Caught on Camera by Realm Thumper. And I picked this story because I remember reading this a while back, and this was one of those stories that I read to actually pass the time at my old job as an overnight security guard. And I do have a spooky story with that as well, so something down memory lane on this one again. And yeah, I just thought it was a good sound, about a good story. And just had a few spelling errors here and there. But other than that, yeah. And with that, and this will be also placed on my YouTube channel, just in case you missed it or whatnot, or whatever. And I'll see you on the next stream. Bye.